Well, hello, everybody. It's Erin Reed's Art and Makes, and today we're going to make some cards, as always, in our Card Making Wednesdays. Welcome to my channel and to my live stream. So today we're going to make a fun set of cards that is, the purpose behind it is to use up your paper stash. Now, I'm using the watering can die cuts of the view paper pack. I think all the die cuts of the view paper packs are awesome because the colors are already set for you. You can use it for a ton of different projects. You can use them for cards, for tags, for scrapbook layouts. I just think they're awesome. A lot of them are two-sided already, and you can see just the huge variety of colors that are in this pack. So today, we're basically going to use everything in there. I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of stamping as well on the card, but you could use a card purely just with the papers from the pack, and it's just kind of a fun card. So let me show that better on screen. So here we go. Look at that. So this is called a Z Fun Full card because it makes the letter Z right here as it's folded. And so basically it just gives it a little bit of a different look when it's open. And again, so sorry if you're hearing chattering in the background. We're all home together and the kids are upstairs while I'm doing the video. They're playing a game of some kind. I'm not sure. So and the dog's with them. So who knows what's happening at this moment. Well, they're being happy. Let's put it that way. So here is our fun card. And let me show you the base of how to set this up. I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. It's really, really, really simple. So you need, and we're going to make 3 cards together, and I'll show you a couple of variations of these cards. So the first step you're going to do, and I will have the links for the supplies I'm using today are all down below. And I will put the links. I didn't get a chance to do the measurements for you, but they're so super simple. So to make a vertical card, this is your standard A2 size card. And the way that it's folded, I still think it's thin enough that you'd be able to put it into a regular envelope and be able to mail it with just normal postage. I do not think this goes beyond the width description. So for a fun fold card, this is a pretty decent one that you can pop in the mail right now. And who wouldn't love a little bit of happy mail at this moment? Because we're all stuck at home. It's a way to kind of, I know we email each other and stuff, but just to get a little something that we can touch, because we can't touch much anymore. I think just means a little extra at this momentary in life. Hi, Rosie. Oh, Fort Lauderdale. How fun. You guys are getting nailed right now over in the Miami area. That's crazy. All right. So we're going to start with a 11-inch by 4 1/4. And so if you took an 11-inch and folded it in half, you would get a 5 1/2. So that would be your A2 size card. So you do need a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you can get 2 cards out of. So just kind of keep that in mind. I picked just kind of a background color that white was too stark. Again, sorry about the kids upstairs. They're having a blast. I think the white was just too stark because there's all these creams. And so I found a nice neutral background that I liked and just kind of went with it. And this is one of the coordinations papers. Oh, there goes the dog. So you take your card and that back up on itself. That's it. That's as hard as this fun fold card gets, right? And then it opens up this way. It's probably one of the world's easiest cards. You could also have the card go this way. If you wanted to change it up a little bit, instead of going vertical with it, you could have it go horizontal. So the same premise, it's the same size of card. You fold it in half, fold this back, and you could open up this way. But we're going to have our card open up this way today. So super, super simple, right? I mean, it's for a fun fold card. This is easy peasy. And so pull up some of those card stocks that you have in the background of your stash and find some pattern papers that go with that, and then just cut up and play. And that's what I've done. I've just kind of come up and I've cut up and placed. The first one we're going to do is going to be one that is just using what I call the Project Life cards. So back of this paper pack, there's all these cards. And this came on one giant, and let me show you the paper. It's on one giant 12 by 12 sheets. Whoops. This is just a hint to you, I keep all my cut pieces inside of here because there's still some decent amount of paper on these, and it all goes together. It all works together in the pool, right? Or in the kit. And so I'll just stuff them back in here, and then I have kind of like an organizer that I keep all my big giant paper packs in. And so that way it all stays together. And if I ever need, oh, I want that pink or something, I have it. So there is one more of these papers. This is right here. And then on the back side, it's just white, or it's just, sorry, what color is that? Yellow, that's the word. So we've got some options for colors here. So look at all the variety here. All of these were vertical, which is why I decided to go with a vertical card versus a horizontal card. But if what I call the Project Life cards, if they're turned horizontally, you could make your card open horizontally. So let me get that guy out of the way. I just love the colors of this pack too. I just thought they were so pretty. So I went ahead and cut them all up, and they're all 3 by 4. So they're like little trading cards. I think they're just so much fun. And so they just already had everything on it that I would want to have if I was going to stamp on a pattern paper, and it would already be colored in. I mean, all the work is done for me. So again, super fast and easy. The kids can get in on this too. You could have everything kind of cut, and then it's just a matter of layering it up. There's really no muss, no fuss with these cards. Isn't it a cool paper pack? I think it's awesome. So I like to have my background, my main part of my card, to be kind of a neutral color. I don't want it to be a big busy color. Like I wouldn't want the birds. You could do birds. I'm not saying you couldn't, but for me personally, I like having a little bit more of a neutral color. And when you're looking at the card, so this one's busy, but I still call it kind of a neutral. You're going to see this on the front side. So I want to be able to have something a little bit different. And this is where you can have fun. So now I have 1, 2, 3 surfaces I can place something on. So I'm going to put something on every space. So I'm going to put these pretty little birds. This is where I'm putting a really busy paper and like big graphics. And it's a small space. You really get to see a whole lot of something. And when you open up your card, as you can see, it kind of goes, but you see it there, right? So it's there. It's fun. So that's where I put, and I'm just using my Xyron tape runner for all of this. When I cut my mats down, I cut it down by 1/4 inch. So the size of this right here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this piece of paper right here is 4 by 5 1/4. So I've gone down by 1/4 inch on both dimensions. Same for this. So if you cut this in half, this would be a 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So the size of this piece of paper is 4 by 2 1/2. So it makes it easy. And these two are identical. So I cut a whole bunch, and then I decided, do I want that sheet of paper or do I want this one? Like, which one do I want to put where? So I am deciding, I had this one. Maybe I'll change that up. Do I want to put the houses there? Because this is a lot of green on green on green. Do the houses look pretty? Because I got lots of these cut pages here too, so I can play around with this. So I decided to go with love and thank you. So I thought that was a pretty set of cards, like the sentiment that would be having on the inside. And it doesn't matter really truly which one I decided to put on the front, because they're both really good sentiments. So you can kind of play around with that. So now I'm deciding, do I like the houses there? We have the birds. The birds, I think, is just, it's too green on green. So I'm not a big fan of that. Pink, you could do the same pink. So that's another way to go about it. I was changing it up and going, well, I didn't want to have the same 2 colors, but you could have the same 2 colors. But to me, that just kind of makes a little bit of a flat card, meaning it could have a little more space. So let's go with the houses. I think I like the houses. Go with my initial gut feeling on that. So if you have lots of pieces already cut, you could have fun with that. There's also this really pretty, this one's really gorgeous too. And maybe I'll come back and cut this one up. What do you guys think of that? Oh, I like that one. We're going to do that. So we're going to cut this guy real fast. So it's already the right width. I just need to cut this down to be 2 1/2. Isn't that pretty? We're using this paper elsewhere in the cards as well. I thought I had it all planned out, and now I'm changed my mind. I can do that. It's my card. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. So I love just that softness. And then look how pretty that looks on there. Isn't that? So you tell me, do you guys like the flowers? Or do you like the houses? Which one do you guys like? So while you guys are debating that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and I'm going to have the thank you on the front. So therefore, this piece goes here. So we're going to place this first. So whatever goes in the center. And again, this is 3 1/2 by 4. It's just a good size for it. So place this as centrally as possible into here. Make sure everybody's just saying so pretty. You guys don't have an opinion? Houses or flowers? Come on, let me know. If you don't tell me, then I'll just do a random and pick one. So place that there. And then we're going to go with, card size base. So this is a 8 1/2. This is an A2 size card. So we've got the full length of the card is 4 1/4 by 11. And then when you fold it in half, it becomes the 5.5 by 4.25. And then you fold this in half. So it still becomes an A2 size card. So you need to have, we'll go with flowers because that's one everybody's, the one, oh, 2 people have said flowers. There we go. Flowers it is. So yeah, you need a 12 by 12 by sheet of paper. And I'll have all the dimensions down below for the main part and also for the, that this is 2.5 by 4 and this is 4 by 5.25. But I'll write all that down in the information after the video is done. All right, so we're going to go with flowers. So place the flowers. I could have done this one too, but I just thought it was, I like the cream. I think it gives a softness. It's a different color because there's so much green in this. It gives a little bit of a relief for the color, right? And so then you only want to apply the adhesive to the top, right? Because the bottom is not going to be sticking. So this is the key here. So just apply, oops, just to the bottom, right? Or just to the top. Because if you have the bottom sticky, it's going to stick to your card and you want that to be able to move. So just apply to the top and then hold your card down and start by lining up the bottom. And this is where you want to make sure that all of your pieces are the same size and then just stick this top part down. And that's how you line that up because it's kind of one of those, oh, thank you. And then surprise, oh, there's another sheet inside. Look how cool that is. So it's just such an easy card. Look how fast it came together. When you have one paper pack, so this is, or even if you have a whole bunch of just 2 or 3, I think for all of these cards, I have the 12 by 12. The flower paper here, the back side is this, that's one other sheet. And then we had the birds with the backside, which is the pink, that's 3 sheets. We have the houses with the backside that's green, that's 4 sheets. And then I have this pinky one with the goats, that's 5 sheets. And then we have the bird one, wherever the bird one is. The bird one, that's 6 sheets. Now, I will tell you for truthfully, the bird one and this pink one, they were not full 12 by 12s. They were scraps left over from a different project that I didn't use the full sheet. So I was able to cut down and get pieces. So truly, it was a mishmash of like 5 sheets, but the colors all work together. And I'm not even going to use up everything. And then I had to have the base card, the base piece. And there's that. So look how fast that goes together. Right? Super, super quick. And that's just using pieces from the pattern papers. So simple, just using up your pattern papers, just using up your cardstock, using up what you probably already have in your house, which is awesome. I think that we definitely, you know, we can go shopping in our own craft area right now, right? And so that is fat. Now this one, I did add a couple little enamel dots. And so I just, you know, do I want to add? Maybe I'll do the bright pink on this one, just a little something up in the corner, a little interest. If you've got like those Nuvo drops or stickles or something flat, so you could still pop this in the mail. It just kind of adds almost like it's an anchor. Now, this is a little bit of a poofy card, but if you kind of work this fold a little bit more and get it to fold and fold and fold, it will start laying flat more and more and more, especially if you put a little bit of weight on it and you kind of push it down, or if you put it in an envelope and force it to be, it'll start, I mean, this one's already starting to go a little bit more because I was playing around with it. So it'll get there. All right, so what if you want to do a sentiment? So pick a nice large sentiment. So this is a stamp set that I have. This one's come from Maker's Movement. It's called Petite Sentiments. And let me put it on the background here so you guys can see it. So we've got thanks, happy birthday, I love you, cheers to you, thinking of you, best wishes, thank you. I love it because there's a huge variety of sentiments that are in this particular stamp set. And it actually comes with a set of dies, which I didn't even want to mess with getting dies out. I'm keeping these cards simple and just using up your stash kind of a thing, but making it a fun interactive card. I mean, isn't that just fun? So we're going to play with that. So what I did, and here is the inside. So we're going to build our card and I'm going to kind of show you. So again, 4.25 by 11 sheet of paper. Fold this in half. Such a hard card. And the part we're going to stamp on is actually some of the leftover pieces that came from the 11 or the 12 by 12 that I cut up. There was a question. If you turn the card sideways, you cut small cutouts, the words still fit. So if you turned your card this way, so there's 2 ways to do it. So because I had vertical, what I call project life cards, I went with a vertical card, right? Because I didn't want to cut any of this up and it fit perfectly. I thought it was a great size to fit as your centerpiece for the card. So sometimes you'll find that project life cards that are horizontal, which would work too. So what I'm about to show you now is that if you're going to stamp your card, how you could go either way with it. So what I'm going to show you, you could go both ways with that. So yeah, if you cut and make this horizontal and have it a horizontal opening card, totally work. Just turn everything this way. There's nothing to say. And when you cut your paper, so I cut all my papers so the pattern would go vertical. Cut your paper so the pattern would go horizontal. So therefore your birds would be going this way. So just keep track of how you're cutting. If it's a pattern paper like this, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't make a hill of beans. Or if it's just green like this, no big deal. But for this card, because I was going vertical, I wanted to make sure that all my pieces were going the right direction. So go ahead and stick this one down. Does that answer your question, Liz? I'm sorry, that was kind of a rant. A little bit of a long answer to that. All right, so stick this down. This is my base. You can see right there. I think I'm a little off on my cut, but it works. Now, for this one, I chose not to do what I would call a project life card for the center. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down in the center where I normally would. And I am picking, because I've got pattern paper. Notice this was the houses. We're going to use the back side. But this had a really nice, pretty green, and the greens all matched. So it's the same size card. And then I cut out a small 2.5 by 2.5. This looks a little wonky. There we go. So it's the same color, same paper. 2.5 by 2.5, and we're going to stamp on this now. So if you didn't want to use a project life, this is a very simple to have a sentiment on the inside that you want to use. So we're going to pick, on the front I have You Are Great. Look at the cute little goat, right? So this goes on the front. So what's going to match with You Are Great? You Are Great, Thinking of You. I think we'll go with that. You Are Great, Thinking of You. And I'm going to do it in black because there is little pops of black in the card. Now, this particular paper has a rough side and it has a smooth side. So I'm going to stamp on the smooth side. This is Coordinations paper I've had for ages. And I actually happen to only have 2 sheets left of this particular color. Do I have the color? I cut it all up. I don't even think I have the little strip that says what the color is, but it's just a very nude, very light color, and I totally lost track here, so I got to re-ink that. You're gonna get your stamping platforms and stuff out, but I'm just doing a simple sentiment stamp, and I totally put stamp base crooked, so I get to stamp crooked. Give me a good stamp. Not bad. Probably could have stamped better if I used a platform and not squish so hard, but I was trying to make sure I didn't have patches. So if you want to get out your stamping platform and stamp it a couple of times, get a good, clean, crisp image, go for it. And so this is now going to go in the center. Now, if you want to have some fun and kind of add some detail to it, so I just got these new Tombow pens in. This is a mono drawing pen. This is a nice fine detail. You can come in and just do a little light on the outside of it, just to add a little interest, because there's a lot of blank space in here. I'm just kind of doing a rough line. You could also do that. So look how different that makes that look. It gives it that little outline right there. Hey, everybody, we got Dee Mullen, we got Liz, we got Rosie, we've got Wendy. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. And then this piece. Now, anything you put on this back sheet, on this back panel of the card, needs to be flat. So I don't think going more than about 3 layers on this would be a good idea, because then it's going to start getting too bulky and the card's not going to be nice and flat for you. And then just place that in there. Simple, 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 right? Easy peasy. Now, because this little card here, and I need to do a quickie trim because look, you can still see a little bit of a pink where it was butted up like that. So I'm just going to do a tiny, tiny, tiny little shave off of that. I thought I caught all my papers. So little tiny shave just to make sure that I just have that piece and nothing else. And so because I had my little goat on the front, I thought the little insert, there was paper that had little goats. I thought that was kind of a fun little thing. And it's the back side of that. And I thought this looked really pretty next to each other. So 2 for 1 deal. Now, which goat paper is better? I think they're about the same. I think I like the 2 goats that are a little more centered. But this one, I don't know, but this one I get more actual goats and I don't feel like I get feet. No, we're gonna go with this one because then I don't have like little feet sticking up there and I can get more goat bodies. So that one looks a little bit better to me. So we're gonna go with that. Boop, boop. So put that here. So looking so pretty so far. Easy, easy. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Lidbug. Hi, Sherry. Everything's on. Hello, hello. Pennsylvania. I wonder who our furthest person is that's here right now. If you're comfortable saying where you are, go for it. I'm always curious how far my reach goes. Like, where do people come from? I think it's kind of fun. Oh, the dog is going crazy again upstairs. The kids are making him all excited. Can you guys hear that? Indiana, Pennsylvania. I know there was a Fort Lauderdale. She said that earlier today. All right, and then the last piece we're going to put on here is this right here. So again, line it up. Only put the adhesive on this side right here. Just right here. That's it. Don't go any further. Place that down. Line up the bottom first. I'm not pushing this down. Well, I just kind of did, but line up the bottom right there, and then seal the top. And therefore, it kind of hides the bottom piece. And then there's your card. And so therefore you can do a stamp. You could put this on the top too. It's up to you. But I just think this is kind of fun to have an element that's got a design to it, a little bit of something. Now for this particular project life card or this top piece, I'm not going to add anything because there's so much happening with all the little flowers. I think it would just deter from what's happening. We got a Missouri in the house, St. Louis. Man, we got lots of people states here. Awesome. All over the states. Lots of East and Midwest coasters. Nobody from the West? Nobody out there? I guess maybe it's a little too early for, I don't know, it could be up to 10 o'clock. Depends. I don't know. Is everybody sleeping in a whole lot more right now? Like my clock does not seem to want to get up any earlier than 9 o'clock in the morning. It's bad. My son, I have one son who's such an early riser. And he comes knocking on my door. My other two kids are just holed up in their room still. And he comes knocking on my door. Mom, it's 9 o'clock. Get up. I'm like, what's the point? We don't start our school day until 10 and we have a schedule now. I think it's pretty awesome. One kid has some homework and he gets on the computer for a while from 10 to 11. Our school district distributes lunches, which has become a highlight of our day. So we go pick up the lunches from the school. And when we pick it up, we also get breakfast at the same time. So been lots of corn dogs lately, and the kids are getting a little tired of corn dogs, but they'll eat them. I will not. And we're having a hard time getting some groceries, so it's been a godsend that we're actually able to get some food, which is nice. And then I have a live video. So Wednesday we do the card making live video. Tuesday and Thursday we do kids crafts. So if you've got kids and you're looking for some fun kids crafts and art to kind of fill your art needs for the school district, we have a new idea every Tuesday and Thursday. So there'll be another one tomorrow at noon. And then the other days of the week, we have so the kids are eating lunch. This is their downtime while I'm working, or I could be recording a video, or I could be editing. I kind of edit at night when I don't need to have the light. So the middle of the day is when I do all my recordings. So I'll do that. And then taking my pictures and stuff I can do while they're working. And then the other two kids do their schoolwork after about 1 o'clock, 1:30, depending on what time we get done with our videos. And I have to eat lunch then too. So it turns into breakfast because I probably haven't had breakfast yet, which I haven't. I had some applesauce this morning. Ooh. So that's what our fun day is. And then, the day keeps going along. So we're trying to find a new sense of schedule. So because we don't start until 10, and I'm such a night hawk. I mean, my internal clock would normally be, I'm just putting the background on here. My internal clock would normally be not go to bed until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then wake up until like 10 or 11. But I have an early riser child, so I got to go along with that. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the background. This time I decided to pick, long story. We are kind of losing track of the days. I kind of hate, so having my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday lives is keeping a little sense of discipline and structure. It's also keeping me focused on something. The kids are helping, not with the card one, but with the two kids' arts and crafts videos. They're helping with that. And so they get involved. They're part of the videos. It's all kind of, it's helping them. They're getting to be arts, they get to get their crafty on, and I think there is definitely something to art therapy and to doing something busy with your hands. Again, so sorry about the noise upstairs, the dog. All right. So that's how our day is running right now. It's because we're not going anywhere, let me tell you. Our highlight of the day is getting in the car and going to our school, and they have like a drive-through and everybody's masked and gloved. You don't come in contact. They put it on a cart, roll it up. You have to get out of the car. You don't touch the cart. You just touch the bags. They've all been holding the food carefully. I mean, it's been very good. So, all right, this one, I'm going to do this one. The front card says hello. And then we're going to do hello. We're going to do a thank you. No, we're going to do a birthday. Let's do a birthday card. So you can really, I love the sentiment stuff because they're just easy. And so this is another way. We're going to do a happy birthday. So I picked this 2x2 to be very much like any of these sentiments would fit on here and be no problem. You could even, if you wanted to, let's do this. We're going to turn this into a diamond. Look at that. That's kind of fun. And as long as I go far enough up, look, just a little interest, a little something different inside the card. Why not? So let's turn this into a diamond. Oh, my kids are getting crazy upstairs. So again, same pieces of paper, just changing the orientation just to change the look of it. Why not? Did I already give the measurements? Yes. So, and I will put them in the bottom of the video, but I'll say it again. The main part of the card is a 4 1/4 by 11. You fold it in half, it becomes an A2 size card. So now we have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then when you fold this over, this piece right here becomes a 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And so that's what these two pieces are. So it's really super simple. Again, I'll have the measurements down when I'm done filming. I put the links to all the supplies I'm using. Oh, my kids are crazy. I'm sorry if you are hearing all kinds of craziness upstairs. All right, so we're going to do a happy birthday, but we're going to do it on a vertical. This is why I love this background mat. Hey, everybody. Oh, here we got Northern Illinois. Anybody else? Okay. Everybody stopped. Okay. Do we have anybody new on? We got Leslie, Darlene, Wendy, Charlie. I think I said everybody. Yep. Everybody already said hi to. Hello, hello. All right. So I love my background mat here because it's got all the markings on it. So when I line this paper up and I'm following this line and I go vertical to vertical, I know I'm in line. And then I just come in and I'll stamp my happy birthday real fast. And there it is. It's a little bit blurry. I probably should have gotten my Misty out after doing the first one, but that would mean I'd have to give you guys some little time, and you hear my kids screaming upstairs. So, and I really did like the look of the pen. So I'm going to grab, there's actually 3 different sizes of pens. These pens are right here. Hang on. Oops, grab the wrong one. Here we go. There's 3 different sizes of pens from Tombow, and the bigger the number, the fatter the nib. So this is a 5 and it's much bigger than the 1. So I'm going to use that this time. But any black pen would work, even if you had a ballpoint pen. These are drawing pens. I just think they're really nice for doodling and stuff. And it comes as a 3-pack. You can get them as a 3-pack, which I think is fun. I did not list this on my supplies because I didn't think I was grabbing them. That was an on-the-fly, spur-of-the-moment thing to grab that. And then we are going to nestle this little guy right here in the center. And when I stamped, because this paper does have a rough and a smooth side, I did, again, go on the smooth side. So line this up. Make sure this is lined up. I feel like I'm not quite centered here. Hang on. I feel like this side is a little bit narrower than this side. So I'm just going to quickly make sure I have this all lined up. And what I do is I look at the corners, and I just was probably distracted by my kids screaming upstairs. Oh, breathe. That's what I have to do right now. Lots of breathing, lots of wine. Or it could be a vodka night, you know. Oh my goodness. I am almost positive that the amount of alcohol sales, and I actually got a wine delivery from my Amazon Fresh yesterday. It was awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize half the other ingredient or half the other things that were in my cart got yanked out. So we didn't get the strawberries, the raspberries, or some of the other fresh fruits, or flour. Cannot get flour to save your life right now. I mean, certain things, some of my other stuff totally got left out, but wine got delivered. That wasn't short, but I'm just waiting for the shortage of wine to come. Anyway, my little soapbox there. Okay, so now we have this piece. Now we're going to start layering up the other ones. So I am going to decide, was it these pieces? Okay. So we're going to have, I think I like the green, because then it gives another contrasting color. So are you going to see a little bit of this little poking out? Yep. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I think I'm totally fine. And then we're going to do the houses, do you think? We could play around with that. We could do houses. I don't think I want to go back to green. We could do birds. That's all I have left that's already cut. So I have houses, birds, or the pink. Oh, I also have this flower one, but then that's the back side of that. What do you guys think? What's your opinion here? So should we do, I want that green there. So should we do, which one of these ones? Birds, house, pink, or flowers? And then keep in mind, it's for this piece right here. What do you guys want to do? Easier to get liquor than groceries. Yep, for sure. For sure. Easier to get liquor than groceries. I'm going to go ahead and put the green down here, and you guys say your opinion. Oh, yeah, and I had the light birds. The birds would look pretty. Well, I already decided on that one. Nope, because then it's too light. I don't know. We're doing the green up here. Green goes there. Let's put this there. Remember, fill in the top. Line up the bottom. Line up the bottom. Make sure it's lined up. Rub the top, and then we have to decide. Now, do you have to put something there? No, you don't have to. It's totally an optional scenario. You guys are going with birds. So this bird right here. Is that what you're thinking? Let's go with that. Because I think having the houses at two tan colors too close together, I think that would just look a little too washed out. I mean, I still think it would look pretty. I don't think it matters one way or the other, truthfully. It's just, you're nitpicking at this point. Where did you order from? I just Amazon Fresh. Like you could go in and you can order your groceries through Amazon, and I will give you a hint, and I'm probably telling a whole bunch of people, and then my hit's not going to work. I had everything loaded into my cart for 2 weeks. I kept trying to find a delivery, and it kept saying there's no deliveries, there's nothing available, there's no slots open for deliveries. So I waited up one night and past midnight, and at midnight, more slots opened up, and I had everything in the cart. And it wasn't like completely, there was already like some people who had gotten on before me, and I picked a slot. So I got a delivery from 1 to 3, and that was the only way I've been able to get a delivery. I was waiting for 2 weeks with stuff in my cart, and things were getting yanked out, and I'd add more stuff in, and then things got yanked out. And even when I put the delivery and I selected my delivery time, 10 items got yanked out, not available to be delivered at that time slot. I'm like, I'll get what I can get. So that's what it is. But they had wine, and I got my wine. Priorities, people. You don't have that option there. Oh no, that's no fun. And then for this one, I think I'm going to leave it plain as well. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do one little thing here. I'm going to take my pen again, and I'm going to do my border. And I should have done this before I stuck it down, but just for grins and giggles, we're going to add a border going along here. Now, I will have to tell you, I had the weirdest story yesterday. So I'm trying to support some of our local businesses and restaurants in particular, because then we're helping support some stuff, and I needed to get out of the house. Normally I would use one of delivery services because some people are making an income by delivering food at this point. So we're trying to help support what we can. And so just a little something extra there. And so, I'm sorry, my son's coming down the stairs to the dog. I think they're going to go outside now. Let him go potty so he doesn't go potty upstairs. That's a big thing. So I was going to pick up the food. I had put the order in online. A glitch happened. It looked like it wasn't going to go through. So I ended up having to call it in and make the order that way. And lo and behold, I get in there, and they don't have a curbside, but they have it so only like 2 or 3 people can go at a time, and they have it all sectioned off. Like, oh, they're cute cards. They're so adorable. And I go in, and there's a man there, and you can tell he's a little upset, and he's just, something's off. And so he looked like he just needed somebody to talk to. And I was like, hey, how are you doing? Keeping my distance. He says, I just got bit by a bunch of fire ants. And if you don't know what fire ants are, oh my God, they hurt. They sting for hours after you get bit. Oh, they're awful. And he's like, I just got a whole bunch of fire ant bites. I'm just trying to get some food. And he just looked like he was kind of a little bit somber. And so I just struck up a conversation. Everybody else was kind of turning away from him and avoiding him. And I wasn't getting close to him or anything. I was just chatting. And and then long story short, I had forgotten to put a part of my order in. I forgot actually my meal of all the meals that were, I forgot to put my order in. So while I'm waiting, everything got paid through the credit card ahead of time because the online order finally went through. And so I pick up and I go to the car, and I brought all the kids, but they're all hanging out in the car, drop off the food in the car, go back in, and I'm waiting for my order because I had to do it in person. So I have to wait for them to cook it, and I paid for that at the time. Sit back down, the man's still chatting with me. And then I see him go up to the counter and kind of turn around and point at me and then talk to the cashier. And I hear her say, but she's already paid. She's already paid. And then he gets his order and he leaves. And as he leaves, he drops a $20 bill and he goes, just for being so nice for talking with me while we're waiting and everybody else avoided me. Thank you. And he gave me a 20. And I was like, oh, and all the ladies are looking at me because there's two other ladies picking up food from, I think it was Uber Eats at the time. They both look at me and they're like, what in the world? And he had already left. And I'm like, I have no idea. I was just being nice and talking to him and everybody else was avoiding him. And they're like, yeah, I guess he was your little guardian angel at that moment. So it's just kind of a fun thing. He was kind of paying it forward. And it shocked me, surprised me. I mean, I talk to everybody. If they look like they need somebody to talk to, I'll just be like, hey, how are you doing? And I told them my fire ant story of stepping in ants. And anyway, it was a very sweet man, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brandon's here. Anyway, but I promptly took the $20 bill and they had a hand sanitizer up at the front of where you paid for your food. And I like rubbed that entire 20 down. I don't know. I mean, I think cash probably has more stuff on it than anything else. So I totally cleaned that thing and made it as sanitary as I possibly could. But there you go. My little Good Samaritan story from yesterday. It was actually paid back to me, which that I usually pay it forward to other people. So it was nice being the receiver for a random time. It was awesome. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed our little fun Z-fold cards using up your scrapbook stash. Pull out some of those paper packs that you have. Or if you really enjoyed this one, the link is down below to where you can find it. It's from Die Cut to the View. It's called the Watering Can. They kind of stand up. That's the other fun thing is these cards, if you want them to stand up, they do kind of stand up. But if you want them to lay flat, you could put a heavier object on top. And over time, it's these two folds right here. So before you stick everything together, really do a good job in kind of making sure folding back and forth, and they will start laying flat. I also think that these cards are flat enough that you pop into an envelope and they will mail with just a normal stamp. Don't quote me on that, but I think they would, because there's really not a whole lot of bulk. I mean, they're not that bulky. So that's just my thought there. I mean, that doesn't look too thick, does it? I don't think so. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please give this video a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed all my little anecdotes and stories. And thank you for tolerating my children upstairs being crazy. They were with the dog crazy. Oh my God. But they sound like they were having fun. There was no screaming or yelling or crying, detrimental, like painful crying. I can hear the difference between the two. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe. Drink lots of water, all that fun stuff. Get out, take a walk, avoid everybody, keep your distance. And I hope you guys subscribe, and we'll be back next Wednesday for another round of cards. And if your kids are looking for some fun videos of some art and craft projects to do at home, or you guys want to, my kids and I are doing a live every Tuesday and Thursday right here on this channel at noon Central. All right, bye everybody.